Surprisingly, I got it all in. Hey campers, George here. Just wanted to take a minute of your time and go over something that I own. And that is a backpack that I've owned for quite a while, and I think I've used once. And decided to take a relook at it and see if it would work for me in a walk-in situation. Normally I would use my medium Alice pack, but I've been struggling with it lately and getting comfortable with it in the way I'm packing, especially for winter. So I thought I'd have a look at my Ozark Trail's 45-liter backpack. Like I said, I've owned it for a while, and I'm going to take a relook at it. So come along with me and let's check it out. Okay, so let's have a look at it. This here is the Ozark Trail's 45-liter backpack. I believe it's called the MONTPELIER backpack, made by Ozark Trails. I got this one, I believe, at Walmart. And, you know, a lot of people frown on Walmart and their products. Basically, people will only go there for the price, things like that. However, I have to say that a lot of the products, and Ozark Trails is one of them, I really like. For the price, the quality, I think it works for me. And being on a budget, that's important to me. Anyway, so this is the backpack. You can see it does have a built-in frame. And it's aluminum frame, and it can come out. You can take it out. Why you would do that, I'm not sure. I wouldn't consider doing that. I prefer to leave it in there, built in. It has the regular shoulder straps. They are padded. They are pretty comfortable, and it does have a chest strap across the front. And then the other thing is it has a hip strap, which is really important. It really helps take the load off your shoulders. And that I do like. The back is padded, and it does have, it's meshed so that you can get a little bit of airflow through there and that sort of thing. Stop you sweating as much as you normally would. It is a very basic pack. It has one big pocket inside the main pouch, and there's a couple of small pockets on the outside and on the back. Up on the top, you do have a quick access pouch, which is nice to have. And then, like I said, the main pouch is just one big pouch all the way down, and it does expand up. You can expand it up, you can see here, and it zips tight, it pulls tight. So you can seal it up, so it does allow you to add a little bit more than just up to the regular amount. On the front there is a pouch, a quick access pouch here. It's kind of a stretchy pouch, and you can put stuff there that you can get to right away. I'd be a little bit wary of that. It doesn't zip up or anything. It just has a clip on it, and it just holds everything there. So whatever you put in here, be careful you're not going to lose it. In the bottom there is a zip pouch, which I did say this is a whole pouch all the way down, and this is a feature I like. You do have this pouch in the bottom, which is part of the main compartment. If you look in here, I don't know if you can see that, there is a zip, and if you undo that zip, it expands all the way to the bottom. So you add that little bit, or you can have the separate pouch on the bottom. It has the regular tie-offs at the bottom. And another thing it does have, and I like this feature, is in the bottom here, there is a waterproof cover that you can store in the bottom. Quick access. Should it start to rain or whatever, you can pull this out and cover your pack. And while you're wearing it, you can still cover the pack. It just goes over the front and over the top and keeps the water off. So that's a nice feature. It has two just slip-in pouches on the side. They're expanding pouches that you could put water bottles or something like that in for quick access. So all in all, a very basic design. I do like it. It doesn't really, it's not like an Alice pack. You know, I do have a medium Alice pack, and it's not really designed for add-on features. On an Alice pack, you can add things on the outside, extra pouches, that sort of thing. This really doesn't allow you to do that. It is what it is. But I'm pretty sure it's going to work for me, and I will pack it up just like I would pack my Alice pack. And let's see if it'll hold it. There are a couple of things that I'm interested to see if my tent will fit inside the pack, because there's only really one option at the bottom. It does give you little tie-ons on the top, which I'm not a big fan of putting too many big things on the top here. It's going to be sitting really high, but maybe you could just put a jacket there and tie it across so that you have quick access to a jacket if you need it, or if you decide you're getting too hot and you need to take some clothes off, you can just tie it onto the top here. It's not going to cause too much of an imbalance or anything like that. But generally, straightforward, nothing fancy. The price for me was right. The adjustments on it, it has a lot of adjustments. Just about everything has adjustments, even as much as having small adjustments up here for the top pouch, so you can extend it up a little bit more when you use the extra piece at the top here to add a little bit more in. So not a bad pack. What I'd like to do now is, like I said, I'm going to put all my stuff in that I would take with me on certainly on a winter camp. It is in the middle of winter. And just because I want to compare it to my Alice pack, having used that on the last camp, I did struggle a little bit with it. Wasn't as comfortable as I wanted to, and I do admit I didn't really adjust it and check it as well as I should before I left. But on this one, I'll pack it up and let's see how it does. Okay, so here we are, all packed up. Surprisingly, I got it all in. The first thing I noticed was, compared to the Alice pack, it is a lot slimmer. So getting some of the things in was a little tight. It is extremely tightly packed, but everything I took with me in the Alice pack is in or on here. So it'll work. It's going to need some modifications. One thing I did do temporarily is fix my sleeping bag, my sleep system, to the outside. The straps on the bottom were just not long enough to go around, so I'll have to extend those, and that shouldn't be a problem. Even as bad as my sewing skills are, I think I can do it. So that worked. I have my canteen, my axe, gloves, and my shamog just sitting on top here, just to show you how you can use the top of the pack. In the main compartment has everything else. The tent actually fitted in. You can see here I had to extend the bag. It has that extension on it, but it fit in. And the bottom pouch part with the zipper in that I told you could open out and make one long pouch, I didn't actually have to do that. There is stuff in the bottom here in a separate pouch. Is this the ideal way of packing it? No. As you all know, I have a tendency to overpack. So I've got to cut back on that, and I have some ideas. Certainly my first come to mind is my kitchen. I can reduce that significantly. In my military canteen pack here, I do have a cup that I can cook in, so I could probably get rid of my pot, which is fairly big and will save me some room. The other thing is, this is not ideal, but it works. It stays on, and it doesn't have a lot of outside pouches. And on my Alice pack, I added 2, so there's actually 5 outside pouches. But I still got it all in. It's just not as easily accessible as it was on the Alice pack. I have my ditty bag here, a water bottle, my canteen, and inside obviously is my tent, my kitchen stuff, my sleeping pad, an extra jungle blanket, my kitchen, a couple of other things like my food and things like that, hygiene, that sort of thing, all fit in there just fine. So it'll work. It'll need some modifications to it, but hopefully it'll do the trick. And if I can learn to cut down on what I take with me, I'll probably be a lot better off. Ideally, this would probably be better on the side somehow, which would mean some sewing. I'm not sure. I might just leave it like that. The front pouch I ended up using as a quick access. It has a first aid kit in there, and my camp axe is actually sitting in there. So that worked out. Other than that, I think it'll work. Just a little bit of work on it and it should be fine. So we'll see what happens. Coming up next, I actually put it on and show you what it looks like. Actually fits pretty nicely in it. As much as I hate to say this, it was more comfortable than my Alice pack, which I love. Not only is the Alice pack a little bit more roomy, it looks cool. I know it's not the way to choose a backpack, but this seems to work. So there you go. Ozark Trails 45-liter backpack. Something you might consider. When you look at compatible ones with the same sort of size and that, I think this is priced right, and that's something I certainly have to consider when looking at my budget. So there you go. I'll show you what it looks like next. Fitted on my back, that is. So here you are. I have it on my back. You can see it sticks out a little bit there. That I will be modifying. It does sit nicely and tight on my back. I like that. It sits high, whereas my Alice pack tended to sit low. I like the feel of this, and there's a lot of adjustment on it. So this could work. We will see. And I can bend over a lot easier than with my Alice pack. So there's a good thing. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. And I'm sure I'll see you again soon with my pack. Just saying. Thanks. Bye.